Hi students, this is Tanvi from Oliveboard and I welcome you all for today's PYQ topic series where we are going to discuss one important question from your reasoning section that actually came in your RBI Grade B examination. So before starting the session, we pledge for your success and these are the series offerings. Okay, and here is the question. Now, if you have appeared in any of the previous exam, so you must have seen that sometimes they are going to give you the question where he is not telling you the total number of person. He is simply going to give you some information and you'll have to make a diagram of that, okay, where total number of persons you'll have to decide yourself that what is total number of person, okay. So this is a question which is dependent on the concept of sitting arrangement and chapter of ranking. So because in this question we are going to discuss a lot of concepts related to the chapter of ranking, okay. So let us start solving this question. First I want you all to understand this question. What is the demand of the question here? Now a certain number of candidates are sitting in a row facing north, okay. Only 4 candidates are sitting between Peter and Adele, okay. So when he says that there are just 4 candidates, and one more thing, all of the persons are facing north. So if all of them are north facing person, so that suggests that here what will happen, left will be here and right will be here. And certain number of candidates suggest we do not know the total number of candidates, okay. So what should we do? What we have to which information we have to pick in the starting, okay. So the information that is like between, which says between, like between Peter and Adele. So here we are not sure who is sitting in the left or who is sitting in the right, so we are not sure about that, okay. So let's start solving this question with any definite information, right. So which information is definite? Like here you also have this information that David sits third to the left of Rose, okay. Now even it would not be a good option to start with this, but if you have some definite information related to extreme end, that will be a better one. So here you have in the last that only 2 persons sits left of Peter, okay. Only 2 persons sits left of Peter. So here I'm going to take Peter, right, and towards left of Peter there are just 2 persons, okay. And what about Peter? Any other information that is there about Peter? Let's find that. Now only 4 candidates are sitting between Peter and Adele. Now just because towards left of Peter there are just 2 persons, and if there are 4 persons between Peter and Adele, so that means I cannot write Adele towards left of Peter. So I'll have to write Adele towards right of Peter, okay. So leaving 4 spaces, I'm going to write Adele here, okay. Next information is now any other information related to Peter or Adele. So here you have some information related to Adele, that there are just 3 persons who sit between Adele and Jane, okay. So if there are just 3 persons who sits between Adele and Jane, okay. So I'll just highlight some information here that more than 14 candidates are sitting in a row, okay. So just remember this information that there are more than 14 candidates who are sitting in the row. But here if he says that there are 3 persons who sit between Adele and Jane, so where can I write Jane? So Jane can be written towards left of Adele or towards right of Adele. So let's make 2 possibilities here. Okay. One case would be that there are 3 persons between Adele and Jane. Either if I write Jane towards left of Adele, so leaving 3 persons here, I'm going to write Jane. And in other case, 1, 2, wait. Okay, one case is Jane, right? And other cases 1, 2, 3, and then you are going to write Jane, okay. Now we have written Jane. Now let's see any other information related to Peter, Jane or Adele. Okay, so about Adele, you have that Kim sits second to the left of Adele. So second to the left of Adele, who sits? Kim. Okay, so here I am going to write Kim. So now we are going to solve this question, the information in both the possibilities. Okay, so here he says that Rose is an immediate neighbor of Jane. One information that you have. So here I am going to write Rose. Okay. So any other information? David sits third to the left of Rose. Okay, I'll see that later on. But here we are going to also start to solve the first case, the first arrangement that's above the second one. So here there is information that Rose is an immediate neighbor of Jane. Okay, so if Rose is an immediate neighbor of Jane, so we can either write Rose here or Rose can be written here. But we have this information also that Will sits immediate right of Rose. Now Will sits immediate right of Rose. So where am I going to write Rose then? So if I write Rose on this position, I will not be able to write Will towards immediate right of Rose. Okay, so for that I'll have to write Rose here. Okay, and immediate right of Rose I am going to write Will. Okay, so this is how we are going to fill Rose, right, in the first possibility. But now just consider the second case where Will, now we have this information that Will sits immediate right of Rose. But here immediate right of Rose, it is Kim. How we write Kim here? It was based on Adele. We had this information that Kim sits second to the left of Adele. So in the place of Kim, I cannot write Will. Okay, so that makes the second case wrong. This is wrong actually, and the first one is correct. Okay, so the first arrangement is the correct one. So now let's solve all the remaining information in your question. So here the first information you have that Will sits third to one of the extreme ends of the row. Okay, he says that Will sits third from one of the extreme end. So according to the position of Will, we can find that Will from the left, I cannot say that Will is on third position. But yes, from the right, we can say that Will is on the third position because Will sits third from one of the extreme end of the row. Okay, so let's see if there's any other information. Have you filled all the informations? We have written Peter, we have written Adele, then David, no, David not done. David sits third to the left of Rose. Okay, so from Rose you have to see towards left 1, 2, 3. That is here I am going to write David. Okay, next information is Will, we have solved. Then Adele and Jane again solved. Then Kim and Adele solved. Okay, Rose is an immediate neighbor of Jane, solved. More than 14 candidates, we will see that only 2 persons sits left of Peter. That's again done, and Will, Rose, done. Okay, so now let's count the number of persons. Okay, now in this arrangement you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So here in this arrangement you have 16 number of person, that is more than 14 candidates as mentioned in the question. Okay, so this is how you are going to solve this. Now this used the concepts from the chapter of ranking and sitting arrangement, and this type of question is very common these days, that he is going to ask the number of candidates from you. Instead of giving, he is going to ask from you that what is the total number of candidates in the row, and this is how your question will be solved. It is not necessary that all the blanks to be filled. Okay, what is the main thing here? What is the main thing here? That all the names given in the question should be solved with certainty and number of persons should be solved. Okay, so now let's come on to the first question. Now, how many candidates sit in the row? So let's check here. How many candidates? We have just counted that there are 16 candidates. So the answer here will be option number 1. Okay, next question. who among the following sits third to the right of Peter? So that's what he says. Who sits third to the right of Peter? Let's check that. Where is Peter? Peter is here. And third right of Peter, I can find who it is. It is Kim. Towards right of Peter on the third position, who is sitting? It is Kim. So the answer here will be option number 1. Okay. Next question. How many candidates are sitting between David and Will? Okay, let's see that. Between David and Will, he is asking that how many candidates are there. So here you have David and here you have Will. Okay. So between David and Will, you have 3 number of person. Okay. So the answer here will be what? Number of persons here between David and Will are how many? There are 3 person. Okay. So the answer here will be option number 3rd. Right. Okay. Next question. Who among the following sits exactly between Kim and David? Okay, who among the following sits exactly between Kim and David? So here, okay, let's check the solution now. Between Kim and David, he asked. Okay, so exactly between Kim and David, I can find it is Adele. Okay, who sits exactly between Kim and David? Because here, according to the information, it was there in the question that David sits third to the left of Rose. Okay, and if David sits third to the left of Rose, that suggests that David will sit here. Okay, so in this, another information that Rose is an immediate neighbor of Jane. So according to that, what I can find who sits exactly between Kim and David, it is Adele. Okay, it is Adele, which is not there in the option, and hence your answer will be none of these. Okay, right. Next question. What is the position of Rose with respect to Adele? Now, what is the position of Rose with respect to Adele? That you have to find. So, with respect to Adele, if you check, so it is towards right on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. So, it is 5th position towards the right. So, here the answer will be option number 3rd, that is 5th to the right. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you all. So this is how you are going to solve the question when you have to find the total number of persons in the row. Now you people find this difficult, but I hope you all have attended the explanation of this question and not finding it difficult now. Because when you understand how you have to solve this question, it becomes easy. And already I don't categorize this kind of question in difficult questions. Actually, these are easy ones, but it's just that due to lack of practice of such type of questions, these happens to be difficult in front of you. So with this, we are done with the important previous year question of your RBI Grade B examination. And in the last, I would like to tell you that subscribe to our new regulatory YouTube channel and also download our regulatory app if you're preparing for any of the regulatory exams, whether it is RBI, SEBI or Nabard exam. Okay, so this is the end of session. So if you have liked this session, if you're liking this PYQ series, so just click like and share with your friends. Thank you so much.